Welcome back to One-on-One Sports. I'm pleased to be joined by Tom Waterman and Aaron Moger to discuss the 2009 baseball season, which ended in a New York Yankees World Series. Guys, was the 27th title won or bought by the Yankees?
I would have to say it was won by the Yankees. And the reason why is because they held on to their players like Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera. They keep their core intact each year, and they've added in some new younger players, Jabba Chamberlain, Philip Hughes. They won because of that, not because of the additions of the big-name free agents.
Tom, let me jump in right now. They've kept their core players intact for a long time now. It took them 9 years trying to keep their core players intact. They didn't win a World Series. They've added more players, not just the guys in their farm system. They've added CC Sabathia, AJ Burnett, Mark Teixeira. How did they add those guys? They bought them, Tom. Of course they went out and bought this World Series. There's not another team in baseball that can go out and buy 3 big-name guys like that. Do you really think that a team like the Washington Nationals could go out and buy those 3 guys and win a World Series? I don't think so.
They absolutely could, because every baseball owner is a millionaire. Washington, they got plenty of money there. Obama could throw them a few $1 billion. They've got plenty of money. All these owners are rich. They could spend money if they wanted to.
Tom, the Yankees are already paying A-Rod more than the entire Pirates team makes altogether in his salary alone. Then they go out and buy CC Sabathia, AJ Burnett, and Mark Teixeira. You can't honestly sit there and tell me the Yankees wouldn't have won or would have won a World Series without any of those guys, let alone all 4 of them. There's no way
Mark
the Yankees
Teixeira,
won
he
this.
hit 165 in the World Series. He wasn't the reason they won that series. Neither was A-Rod. It was because of the play of the other players, like Derek Jeter and Mariano Rivera.
It's not just about the World Series. It's about the season in general. They would not have been in that position if they hadn't gone out and bought the players they did.
Speaking of the season in general, many would argue that baseball is less exciting if the Yankees are going to go out and spend more than anyone else. And speak of that excitement level, the playoffs this year were pretty boring, if we could all agree. Why did this happen?
The playoffs they weren't just boring. They were miserable this year. Please. The divisional series, 3 of the 4 series were sweeps, and the last one went 4 games. No drama. The next couple games, there's no Game 7 this entire playoffs. That's awful. The only story that I remotely enjoyed was the fact that Mariano Rivera was the only closer in baseball who didn't blow a save in these playoffs. And you know what? As a baseball fan, it's interesting, but that's terrible baseball to watch. It's just miserable. I really didn't like these playoffs. I'm sorry.
I was also disappointed for a different reason. The fact that I didn't get to see the Red Sox versus the Yankees. This is what all fans wanted to see. But I thought, well, maybe I can get past that with a great World Series. Maybe Yankees-Phillies. It wasn't that. The Phillies did not show up. Other than Cliff Lee or Chase Utley, our Phillies didn't show up. Ryan Howard, terrible. Jimmy Rollins, terrible. Shane Victorino, terrible. Pedro was 4 innings, not acceptable. The Phillies did not play up to snuff. I don't even think they showed up.
I think we can all agree that the playoffs were a whiff this year, but one of many whiffs by Major League Baseball this season. Tom, what was your biggest whiff of the MLB season?
For me, it has to be the performance by the Chicago Cubs, the New York Mets, and the Tampa Bay Rays. So many expectations coming into this year, didn't live up to the hype. The Cubs, Alfonso Soriano, terrible year. Giovanni Soto was coming off a Rookie of the Year, hit .218. You can't win games when your players don't play up to their level.
Not to mention Milton Bradley. Oh, boy, he's a good player. No, they were
Team
a
destroyer right there.
Okay. Any other teams?
The Mets. Has there ever been a team that's faced more injuries than the New York Mets this past year?
They look pitiful. All those errors for
Who's the blame falling, though? Is it on the general manager, Omar Minaya, for not filling in capable replacements, or is it on the training staff for not giving accurate updates on the players' health?
Agreed. Another team in that book, the Tampa Bay Rays, made it to the World Series last year. Complete and utter collapse.
Many expectations.
Utter collapse. I'm going to take a little different standpoint here. My disappointment this season, when you think about it, baseball, I love the sport, it's still just a game. I'm going to take a somber note here. Nick Adenhart tragically died. April 9th, beginning of the season, right after he came off a start against the Oakland A's, he got hit by a drunk driver. Really sad story. It puts things in perspective. Baseball, it's fun, it's just a game. There are more important things. And you have to say that the death of a player was really a disappointment this season.
Definitely have to agree. Major League Baseball, and the Angels looking to move on from that. As we do move on and look forward to next season, what is your bold prediction?
All right, I got a couple here to throw out to you. First, after that playoff performance by the umpires, we have to install instant replay. It's going to happen. It's not going to be the NFL. You're not going to have managers throwing out yellow flags saying, oh, I want to challenge that play.
It would be quite a sight, though.
It would. But you have to say, I mean, a manager's going to go out there. He's going to complain, and the umpires are going to say, you know what, we might have gotten that call wrong. The umpires get together. If they decide, if they can swallow their pride and say, we really want to get the call right, they're going to check the instant replay and get the call right. which would have helped the playoffs a lot this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another bold prediction. The Red Sox need a shortstop. They're not keeping Alex Gonzalez. Nick Green isn't ready. They're going to go out and get a veteran. Miguel Tejada. I think he's a good fit. He doesn't have the power he used to, but he hits for average. I think they'll go pick him up. That'll be helpful. Last prediction. This is for you, Tom. The Baltimore Orioles will finish in 3rd place in the AL East. They won't win it, but they have the hitting. I keep remembering that game when they beat the Red Sox after being down 10-1. They came back, won 10-11. They have the hitting. I think they'll be in 3rd.
I remember the game where they let up 30 runs to the Texas Rangers.
They'll find
throwing
the pitching.
that one out
They'll
there.
find the pitching.
As bold as that one was, I'm going to try to outdo you here. For me, I see the Red Sox making a big move, trying to react after the Yankees win the World Series. They're going to go out and get Matt Holliday, arguably probably the top free agent player this year. And another move, staying in that division, the Yankees, Aroldis Chapman, the Cuban defector with a great fastball. Questions about his secondary stuff, but
And can he stand up to the New York hype? That's killed a lot of players
with a
in the
lot
past.
of players. And for me, my final pick is I see the New York Mets not collapsing this year. I actually see them winning the NL East, going to stay healthy this year, which is probably a bigger
Against Cliff
prediction
Lee
right
and
there.
the Phillies? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, lucky for you guys, we have an entire offseason to wait for baseball. But up next, we have Adam Constantine and Chris Bunn to preview the college basketball season. Stay tuned.